Hi, I'm Mustafa Qadri, Middle East and South Asia correspondent for NewMatilda.com. I've been based in Pakistan now for 2 years, and in that time I've travelled the length and breadth of this fascinating country. Here are some of the people I've met in my travels. Pakistan has seen many challenges in its 62 years. There is nothing more challenging than poverty. Around 74% of Pakistanis, or 122 million people, live on less than $3 a day. Here you can see a young street kid. Hawkers like this are ever present in the big cities. Poverty is at the heart of the violence gripping Pakistan. The Taliban recruits poor young men with no prospects in their own communities, but most have nothing to do with the Taliban at all. People like this security guard have left their communities for the big cities looking for work. An ethnic Pakhtun, he's originally from Waziristan, the heartland of Taliban activity in Pakistan, but he's just a civilian trying to make a living. There are a lot of ethnic Pakhtuns in Karachi, economic migrants from the undeveloped tribal areas along the border with Afghanistan. They often face discrimination and do much of the menial work in Pakistan's major cities. Others face discrimination too, like poorer members of the Hindu community. In this powerful image, a young man shows me a photo of a friend being beaten by police while protesting the demolition of his home. But discrimination isn't always about ethnicity. According to a Pakistan Parliamentary Human Rights Committee report last year, around 75% of all women in the country have faced violence at some point in their adult lives. Of course, statistics cannot ever convey the very raw human tragedy of a life destroyed by abuse. A male relative demanded that mother of two Kausar surrender her farming property. When she refused, he threw acid on her face, condemning her to a life of pain and shame. Violence against women remains the great hidden crime in Pakistan. There is no greater challenge than losing your entire way of life, like these refugees from the Swat Valley, which the army recently recaptured from the Taliban. Here, former town mayor Muhammad Yahya shows me provisions given by authorities, basically all the worldly possessions his family now have. It is just a game for them, says 11-year-old schoolgirl Manu, pictured here on the extreme left, when I asked about the war between the army and the Taliban. You learn to grow up quickly in this part of the world. People nevertheless are deeply aware of injustice in this country, like this young social worker at a domestic violence shelter in Peshawar, or this union worker in Multan, in the heartland of the Punjab, who lobbies the courts, government and businesses for better conditions for farmers and factory workers. There are also the veteran activists like Abid Hassan Minto, a constitutional lawyer who has challenged 3 dictators in the courts and on the streets of Pakistan, going to jail on numerous occasions over 5 decades. And activism isn't just an elite pastime. Islamabad cabbie Zayed Iqbal took to the streets like millions of others after the nation's Chief Justice was removed from office. I hope now there will be rule of law, he told me, as people gathered to celebrate the Chief Justice's eventual reinstatement. You meet some of the most colourful personalities in Pakistan, like Guru, the eccentric and camp pop culture aficionado who has the largest private collection of memorabilia from the Pakistan film industry, or the Muslim punk rocker Basim Usmani, whose band the Kominas mocked the hypocrisies of their society in verses heavily laced with satire and double meanings. Life in rural Pakistan may be less hectic or eclectic than in the cities, but the bottom line is the same. You have to work very hard each harvest, explains this farmer. With inflation, the costs keep getting higher and the profit margin smaller. The basic formula of life in Pakistan has not changed much in the past 62 years.